Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another stale movie review. Today we are going to be talking about The Fog. So The Fog was basically suggested by everybody when I posted what video was it? My Masters of Horror video on John Carpenter, because I talked about that there were a lot of his movies that I still haven't seen, and you guys basically suggested that I watch all of them that I haven't seen yet, but The Fog was one where everyone's like, you gotta watch it. So I watched it. So let's get into it, shall we? Directed by John Carpenter, The Fog takes place in the small town of Antonio Bay on the 100th anniversary of its establishment. Meanwhile, the ghostly victims of a heinous crime that also took place on the town's founding come back to exact revenge and reclaim what's theirs. All right, so apparently The Fog was kind of based on a couple of things, a hodgepodge of things, if you will. The first being a visit that Carpenter and co-writer and producer Deborah Hill took to Stonehenge while they were promoting Assault on Precinct 13. So apparently when they were visiting the famous site, Carpenter was talking about how this like very eerie fog kind of rolled in the distance, and it was totes creepy. The story of the shipwreck, you know, in the movie was apparently based on an actual event that took place in the 19th century in Goleta, California. And it also bears a resemblance to the John Greenleaf Whittier poem, The Wreck of the Palatine. I like the whole kind of like storytelling traditions in this movie. It's all, you know, like very like storytelling, history, ancestry, that sort of thing. So we start off the movie with a bunch of kids sitting around a campfire, and this older man is telling them this scary story, you know, awful thing that happened where a ship was mysteriously wrecked on the rocks because they saw a light on the shore and it turned out to be a campfire, which is almost kind of the story of the shipwreck, which surrounds the movie. And throughout the movie, you know, after this gentleman kind of hints that on the anniversary of the shipwreck, the ghosts will follow any campfire that they see, so you know, you better watch out. So the movie ends up kind of being a lot about like the sins of your ancestors, history, like how dark history can be set against this town who is trying to celebrate their 100th anniversary. And the whole idea of the fog kind of just goes back to that classic fear of whatever's out there, the unknown. Adrienne Barbeau's character Stevie says there's something in the fog. And for many of the citizens of the town, if you put yourself in their shoes, they don't know what's in the fog. They're just hearing this very ominous message on the radio. There's something in the fog. We don't know what, but there is something. And that's terrifying in and of itself. It's like scary enough not knowing, you know, just, you know, it's creepy. It works very well. And I kind of wish the movie had focused more on Stevie, Adrienne Barbeau's character, and spent extra time developing Tom Atkins' character, Nick.
Where would Carpenter get this extra time?
You may be asking. Well, get ready to unsubscribe, because John Carpenter could have had a lot more time to develop these characters if he had just gotten rid of Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm sorry, but I need somebody to explain to me in the comments what her purpose in the movie was. Her character, you know, like cast her as somebody else, sure, but her character, Elizabeth, added nothing. She added no insights, she added no skills that, you know, other people didn't already have. I can't think of a single scene where her character was essential. You know, like there's nothing that, you know, couldn't have just been Tom Atkins's character, you know? Like, sorry, I know there's a lot of Jamie Lee Curtis fans out there. I'm not saying she did a bad job performance-wise, but her character, that's not her fault. Her character had nothing to do in this movie. I also wasn't a fan too much of the ending. Well, a certain part of the ending. The story was very much like about this town, something that's happening to this town, and that's fine. And like I said, it's scary in and of itself with like, you know, this unknown thing about the fog rolling in, and it's, you know, that's scary, but it's about this town, and that's fine. And at the end of the movie, Stevie, you know, puts out that radio broadcast that's warning everybody else, you know, watch out for the fog, which I'm kind of, it just to me felt like a half-assed attempt to leave the audience uneasy at the end of the movie. So basically, the ghosts that are in the fog that attack Antonio Bay are attacking Antonio Bay for a specific reason. There was a heinous crime committed against them. They were murdered. So they're back to get the revenge and reclaim what's theirs. And they do. And they go away. End of story. Why would they come back? They wouldn't. So I get the fact that Stevie as a character doesn't know as much of the backstory as some of the other characters do, but as a viewer, I don't live in Antonio Bay, so I have no reason to be afraid of the fog because it's a very targeted threat. The ghosts are there for a reason, for a very specific reason. It's not like they just attacked some random town. I feel like they could have just left that little bit out and it still would have been an effectively scary movie, but it didn't leave me feeling afraid of the fog any more so than I already would be, you know? So I didn't completely dislike the movie. I feel like the hype could have gotten the better of me here. I'll fully admit that. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. I thought it was all right. On IMDb, it has a 6.8 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 75% critic score and a 64% audience score. And on Letterboxd, it has a 3.5 out of 5. This was available on YouTube, so I'll leave a link for it in the description. That is not an affiliate link, so just so you know, for transparency. You've already seen The Fog, however, which I'm sure most of you guys have. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it. As always, I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here and become a Creepy Peep today. I post videos Monday through Friday, and you can ring that notification bell down there to be notified every time I post a video, even though it doesn't always work. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye. This video is brought to you by all of these awesome Patreon supporters who are listed here on the screen. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you want to find out the perks to being a Creepy Patron Peep, you can follow that link that's in the description box. And if you want to check out more videos, you can click the video that's on the screen right now.